Hello and welcome back to another hour of Bumbling Around in English. Okay, last time we saw this cage, or golden cage. That door, the gate to the cage was closed, but now it's open. A red brick wall, 2,175. A red light on top, a green light on bottom. A couple steps, a whole bunch of motorbikes, an orange building, a building painted orange on the left. Two plastic chairs, a drawing of a bowl of noodles. There are noodles in the bowl, and on the side of the bowl is a drawing of a rooster. Those are the noodles, and eating the noodles is a happy cat holding chopsticks in its paw. A happy cat holding chopsticks in its paw. And here's a happy man giving double thumbs up, two thumbs up. Here's another painting on the wall of noodles. Noodles with chopsticks stuck into the noodles. And there's another happy cat and a bowl of noodles with chopsticks. This is a rectangle, a green rectangle. Here are three swans. Three swans. Looks like we are inside the restaurant. There are flowers. That flower has 6 petals. The yellow flower has lots of petals. Here's a water fountain, a fire extinguisher, a mirror. It is a mirror. The table has 4 placemats. It has a fork, a spoon, a knife, a plate, and a glass. Are all on the placemats, and the 4 placemats are on the table. So that was our table setting. Here's another big mirror, 2 big dragons on each side of the mirror, some more mirrors, big mirrors. This is a blue clock, a blue clock with silver numbers. The time says 12:50. Here's a bust, a sculpture of a face. Here's another big dragon, a painting on the wall. And here's a banner. And here we have some cartoon bunny rabbits. Here's another swan. That is a swan. And here is one of the employees, one of the people that work here. An employee is mopping the floor. She's using the mop to mop the floor. And this yellow thing is a mop bucket. And in the mop bucket is the soap. And the mop bucket is on a hand cart. And the employee, wearing a red shirt and wearing black pants, is mopping the floor. She mops the floor, the black floor. She mops the black floor. And here's another employee sweeping. She's sweeping. She's using a broom to sweep. And the man is pointing. Here's another swan, a white swan. And here is a golden cat waving its arm back and forth. Hello, golden cat with yellow eyes. And next to the golden cat is a whale with a big teeth and big smile. And this looks like a seal, and next to the seal is a zebra with black stripes, and next to the zebra is a snow globe with a lighthouse inside. Now we're back looking at the inside of the restaurant. There's another dragon hanging from the ceiling. Here's another table with 2 place settings, 2 placemats. There's the 3 white swans. They're in a row. The swans are in a row or in a line. Same thing, in a row or in a line. We're back on the streets. We left the restaurant, and now we are back on the sidewalk walking. We are on the sidewalk walking, and we're going to go look at the ground. And on the ground is an empty bottle of booze. And on the ground are some cigarette butts. And here's a truck, a black truck with a red tail light. And here's a wheel. And as we get close to the wheel, behind the wheel is a mud flap. And this wheel has got 5 screws, 5 bolts holding the wheel onto the car. And this is a door handle of the car. And this guy's carrying 2 bags, one in each hand. And we keep walking on the sidewalk. And here's a little store. Oh, we're going to look over here first. On the red sign is an image of a chef. That is a chef. And 2,113. 2,113. And here's a little panel. There's a keyhole. And there are some hinges. This panel has 2 hinges. The hinge is what connects the door to the wall. That panel has 2 hinges. And this is a doorknob. Underneath is a keyhole or a key slot. And the big doorknob is a big spherical doorknob. It's a doorknob. Its shape is a sphere. Here's another door. It's not a knob. That is a handle. That's a door handle. When it's a sphere, it's a knob. When it's a handle, it's a handle. And here's a buzzer or a button. It's the buzzer. It's a doorbell. It's a doorbell, a buzzer, a button. Here's an advertisement for massage, and underneath those are red rose petals. Rose petals. Rose petals. And here's a shop with a glass front. And here are some silhouettes of fruit. What do we see? We got grape, pear, peach, papaya, banana, apple, and orange. And here we have real fruit. We have some fruit on display. Here's some bananas, some melon, some oranges, some pears, some oranges. And here's a woman holding a baby in her arms and a bunch of people walking. And we have some kind of silver cover. This sort of silver thing, I don't know, is it fabric, is covering some of the fruit. The silver blanket is covering the fruit. There are some nectarines. Those are some watermelon quarters, containers of blueberries, plums, and some silver thing covering the fruit. Around the corner, we have a mural. Looks like the face is smoking some kind of something. She's got scrunchy eye, like her eyes are scrunched. They're not closed, but they're not fully open. They're scrunched. And here's a couple sitting on a dock. It is a wooden dock in a lake. Remember bike docks? A dock is where you bring in something after using it. So a boat, docks. Here's a sticker for, here's a guy. He's wearing a necklace with his own name on it, or I'm guessing it's his name. Here's another fruit stand. This guy is he's hanging a price tag on the bin. 4,500. 4,000, those are limes. 3,500, those are plums. 2,500, those are young coconuts. 1,800, those are melons. 6,000, those are papayas. Here we have black grapes, red grapes, green grapes, avocados, and here we have some packaged salads. These are a bunch of vegetables cut up. There are slices of sweet potato and chunks of sweet potato. Here we have some peaches. Ooh, look at this bright magenta dragon fruit. These dragon fruit are bright magenta. There's a fruit salad, some hot peppers, some long hot peppers. Not quite sure what those are. Here's containers of strawberries, boxes of cherries, containers of blueberries, half melons. Those are melons cut in half, a papaya cut in half, and watermelons cut into quarters. And now we're done with the market and we're looking at another store. Headphones, watches, rings. Those are rings. There's a necklace, a silver necklace, another silver necklace, another silver necklace, lots of silver necklaces. And that's a bracelet and another bracelet. And then those look like rings. There's 2 orange basketballs and 3 white soccer balls. And there we have another kind of structure with yellow and red and white painted wood. Looks like it's a barrier protecting something. And here's another sign, a circular sign with the symbol of a man pushing a hand cart. And now we're looking across the street at some kind of restaurant or bar that has a beer on it. And next to that is another place that has a sign with hot air balloons. Colorful hot air balloons. And another car drives by. There's another car driving by. And another car driving by. And we're crossing the road, quick. We cross the road, we step onto a new sidewalk, and there is a bunch of photos hanging in the window. They look like advertisements for properties. Looks like real estate listings. These are real estate listings. another real estate listing. Real estate listings are, here's another real estate listing. Real estate listings advertise real estate properties. And here's a magazine display. We got all kinds of magazines. We got two strange birds. One is wearing a yellow hat. We got a fox playing with a sailboat. We have a young lady wearing glasses. We have some teenagers. The boy is wearing a hooded sweatshirt. Here's a pirate with a pirate ship. He's wearing an eye patch. That's what we call an eye patch. He's got a sword. We got a starfish using a peg leg. We have a skull. A blue octopus holding a ship. A parrot wearing a bandana. A ladybug upside down. A green caterpillar. We're going to go with caterpillar. A blue dinosaur holding a giant red color pencil. A yellow shark. I think that's a yellow shark. And we got some very happy dogs. Very happy dogs. One dog's wearing a red hat. The other one's wearing a blue hat. Here we have a beach ball, butterfly, a ladybug, a beach ball, a pair of bananas, another ladybug, and an orange. We have a globe. That's the world, the globe. A teepee on the right. Here's a whale. A whale with a jellyfish above it. And here are some scary books. These are scary books or horror. The genre of these books are horror. And now we're back into some kid books. Here we have a bird, a lion, a butterfly, a monkey, a sheep. Is that enough of the kids' books? No, it looks like we're going to look at this one. The number 99. There is a head on the screen of the computer. This looks like a magician with the number 25 on its hat. There's two hands, two palms. One is a palm open and the other has 3 fingers. So there's 5 fingers on one hand sticking up and 3 on the other. Okay. We're going to look at some more advertisements. This is a picture of a hand snapping its fingers. Snapping its fingers. Its thumb and its middle finger together to snap. And here's a big dump truck, or I don't know, some kind of heavy machinery holding bills. And we're going to keep walking. Okay. Wow, okay. Lots and lots of magazines. A whole rack of magazines. Oh, and what's this? Here's a picture of 3 little cherubs. One cherub is covering its eyes with its hands. The other cherub is covering its ears with its hands. And the third cherub is covering its mouth with its hands. On this book cover, 2 hands hold a cup of coffee. On this book cover, a light bulb with a noose inside of it. A noose is what you use to hang yourself or hang someone else. Here is the Communist Manifesto, featuring 2 illustrations of men in beards. On the left is a book cover where there's a vanishing man. There's a man or woman, well, a man sitting in the chair who's vanishing. And here are some stylized tarot cards. On this tarot card, there are two horses in the foreground. One is a tan horse, the other is a black horse. And we have a carrot with a speech bubble. Metal wire holding two doors together. And there's a logo of hands shaking, two people giving each other a handshake. Here's some pictures of food. Some kind of fish. Something in the shape of a fish with some kind of filling inside. We keep walking. And inside this, there's a flashlight. We're looking inside of a store that's under construction. There's a flashlight on the ground. A flashlight on the ground. We keep walking. We got a red car parked on the street. We have this old white station wagon parked on the street. It's a type of car, a station wagon. Wow, and this station wagon has been parked here for so long, a plant is growing out of its wheel. And over here, we have some kind of spa place. Some kind of place where people are getting treatments. People are getting treated with some contraption. The person is wearing gloves on their hands and are touching a contraption to the man's chest. And the man's wearing sunglasses. All right, yeah, we're going to look at that again. Yes, there's a strange contraption, and there's the guy's nipple. That's what we call a nipple. That's the man's nipple. There's a nipple. There's a nipple. And here's a store selling mirrors. Here's a woman in a blue vest walking by. There's an awning. The thing up on the right is an awning. Here's an old rusty bicycle. Do you see how that's rusty? Like the rusty nail? That was a rusty bicycle. And here's a sign. We're walking down the sidewalk. We're walking. Here's a woman walking towards us. She's wearing a pink tank top. This is a photo of a roasted chicken with crispy skin. And here's another padlock. It's a combination lock. The combination is a combination of letters. So that's a combination lock. There's two motorcycles covered with tarps. And it looks like we're going to cross the street. Here's a car coming. The car is slowing down. Okay, we're crossing the street. And across the street there's a picture of the world with a whoosh, a red whoosh. And here's a display of lots of different art products, arts and craft products. We have a paintbrush, two paintbrushes, two different types of paintbrushes, some paint, markers, colorful markers, notebooks. You can write in notebooks. More notebooks. Notebooks of different shapes and sizes. Here's a watercolor. Watercolors is a type of paint. Watercolor paints, a palette of watercolor paints. Here's some kind of special pen. It's some kind of special pen. And there's a wooden hand with the thumb, a pointer finger, a middle finger, a ring finger, and a pinky. And here are some more colorful markers: blue, purple, black, purple, blue. Then we have stencils. Above the markers is a big stencil. Some colorful bottles of, I don't know, paint or maybe glue. Maybe it's glue. Some colored pencils, more notebooks. There's another golden cat waving its arms. And there's a dog being walked. And there's a dog running after the other dog. They're saying hello. They say hello. And a woman carrying some empty boxes just exited the store and just walked onto the street. And she's walking across the street. And she must be going to throw away those cardboard boxes. Oh, and look, we're right next to another food market. There's a picture of a fist, of a closed fist. Here's a little girl burying her head in her mother's side, and a giant bag of onions. That bag is filled with onions. And this box is filled with red peppers. And I don't know what that is. Some kind of giant watermelon? And a box filled with red tomatoes. And what's this under the car? Under the car are 2 banana peels. Not 1, but 2 banana peels. 2 banana peels laying on the ground under this car. And here is a license plate. It has a black outline or a black border, and it's a license plate. And here's something being built, some wood structure being built that's under construction on the other side of the street. And here's a wheel. This is a big wheel on the back of the car. And here's another store. What's this store selling? What is this store selling? It's hard to tell. Let's go take a closer look. This store is selling, that's a faucet. That's a water faucet. And then we have, I don't know, various hardware products. That is called a trowel. And then another water faucet, more water faucets. What else is in this place? Here's the handshake logo. And then a bunch of random parts. Random parts of things. Replacement parts. Inside that replacement part is a spring, a metal coiled spring. A metal coiled spring. Oh, and here we have some kind of jungle design, a jungle design. And we have this, here we go. We're looking inside this little niche. There's yellow pipes. It's a yellow pipe, lots of yellow pipes covered by a black garbage bag. A little girl and her mother are holding hands crossing the street. And we turn the corner. And we keep walking. Is there anything interesting to look at? No? Okay. And here's a man sitting on a bench. A man with a red shirt and a gray sweatshirt sitting on a bench. His legs are crossed and he's talking. His legs are crossed and he's talking. Here's a soda with a blue bottle cap, a blue cap. Here's a drumstick. That's the part of the chicken, is the drumstick. 5,500. Here's a motorcycle with a helmet on its handles. 2 men walking by. And there's a very skinny tree with no leaves. This tree is leafless. This tree does not have leaves. It is leafless. And this store is a cleaning store. Those are cleaning products. Those are cleaning products. Here's more cleaning products. Sponges, bottles. And there's some kind of, I don't know, roll of fabric. There's a pineapple wearing sunglasses. A flower blossom. That's a guy on a surfboard surfing a wave. There's a turtle, a surfboard, some palm trees, a seashell, a starfish, and underneath, there we have a hot dog with mustard and ketchup. Mustard and ketchup bottles. Those are squeeze bottles. You squeeze them. Here's a milkshake and an ice cream. Here's a pattern featuring lots of different types of cars. All different types of cars. And here's a chain with a padlock. Look at these cool orange tiles. These orange tiles are 3-dimensional. They're not flat, but they're 3-dimensional. Look at these 3-dimensional tiles. And here's another post or a pole. There's a Buddha statue, a statue of the Buddha. And there's a lightning bolt, a symbol for lightning bolt. And here's a cat reading a book and drinking a coffee. And he's sitting down, reading a book and drinking a coffee. And here's a silhouette of a man running. Oh, and speaking of cats reading a book and drinking a coffee, here we have them. First, let's look at this slice of cake with a fork sticking into it. There's a fork sticking into the cake. And here's a cat drinking coffee, and there's another cat reading a book and drinking a coffee. And here's a cat, he looks angry. There's the tail, he's got a tail. Most cats have tails. Here's a superhero cat. And here's a cat, cuddled up into its pillow. It's cuddled into a big pillow. There's a big pillow behind the cat. And here's another cat reading a book with hearts for eyes. And here are 4 panels with spherical knobs, with small little knobs. That's a knob, that's a knob. 1991 is that number. 1991. 1995, 1997. If you read it like a year, 1997. And here we have a bunch of wires. One of them is purple. Here's a kid on a bike. And here's a store with a giant display of patches. We're going to look at a lot of patches, I have a feeling. All right. The first patch, flamingo. Second patch, bunny. Third patch, a rooster. Next patch, there's a wolf, an eagle, a dog. Lots of patches. Che Guevara wearing a beret. A TikTok logo. Homer Simpson. A duck. A mouse. A bull. A roadrunner. It's a type of a big bird. A coyote. A Martian wearing a helmet and holding up a hand with a glove on it. It's a Martian. There's a fashion logo, a fashion brand. Those are baseball team logos. One for Los Angeles, one for New York. Some kind of creature. A black cat with whiskers, also known as a panther. That's a black panther. That is a black panther. There's a Spider-Man, a cat, a coyote, a duck, a red cloud with a white outline, a tiger, an orange tiger with a red mouth, a red bull, a scorpion. That is what we call a scorpion. Those are dangerous. They have a dangerous tail. There's a grenade in the shape of a heart. There's a skull with checkered flags behind it. And there's a skull and crossbones. And the skull has got a crown. Some submarines. Lionel Messi. And a symbol of a man with a hurt shoulder. A big pair of lips with a big tongue sticking out. Another Lionel Messi patch. The silhouette or logo of a puma. The skeleton of a fish. A dog. A dangerous dog. A cute teddy bear. Patches that look like license plates. An eagle, a Saint Bernard dog with a small barrel hanging from its neck, the tail of a whale, a mountain with a sun behind it, a patch with a yellow background and green border, a snowflake. That's a snowflake. That's a deer, and a deer with big antlers. That deer has antlers. There's another skull. There's a 3-headed dragon. A dragon with 3 heads, a 3-headed dragon. There's a cobra, a type of snake. There's a rose. Wow. All right. We just did every patch. That's a lot of patches. On the right is a big drawing of a zipper. That's a zipper. Zip, zip, zip. You use a zipper. There's zippers on your backpacks and suitcases. In this window, there's some earrings or patches in the shape of lightning bolts. Here's some yarn. Some yarn is colored yarn. Pink, red, light blue, blue, dark blue, teal, gray, dark blue, black, all kinds of yarn. Here's a surveillance camera logo or icon. Here's another store. This store, let's take a look at what this store has. Has also some cool images. That is a squirrel, a sequined squirrel, a sequined swan, a sequined butterfly. Sequins are those little circles. Here's an eagle. Here's a dog with a bow tie. Here's another eagle pointing down. There's a whole bunch of ribbon, all kinds of ribbon, purple ribbon, white ribbon, seafoam green ribbon, blue ribbon, black ribbon, ruby red ribbon, light purple ribbon, lots of ribbon. And there is a rainbow with a silver outline. And there's a unicorn. A unicorn is a horse with a horn, a unicorn. And here's a logo for a motorcycle company that has wings. Those are wings. Here's a skeleton cat with a heart. That's a skeleton cat. A cat skeleton. Skeletons are the bones of a creature. Here's a crescent moon, a rose blossom. Okay, now we're looking at a bunch of ivy vines. Look at them. We're gonna go look. That's the tip of the vine. That's the tip of the vine. We're looking at all the tips of the ivy vines. And look at those beautiful white clouds up in the sky. Beautiful white clouds. White clouds in the sky. 1921. The year 1921. Wow, and look at this beautiful driveway. There's a woman carrying a red bag. The red bag is hanging from her arm. Looks like we're following the woman with the red bag hanging from her arm. The woman turns the corner. And here is another, this is a combination lock. We saw a combination lock earlier. Here's another one. You need a combination to unlock this. 65,646, it says. 65,646. That's a big number. On top is 50. We don't have time for the top number. This woman is holding a coffee cup. And here is an image of a vulture. A vulture is a kind of bird, and the vulture's talons, those are the vulture's talons are the feet of the bird, are called talons, are sticking into the world. And this is a symbol of a shopping cart, and this is a symbol of a family, a woman, a kid, and a man. And this is a smiley face. And that is a padlock. 1901. If we read this like it was a year, we would say 1901. That's a couple walking arm in arm, or arms around each other. Here's the handshake logo. It's a logo of people shaking hands. And we have some more advertisements. This is a glass filled with juice and ice. And behind this glass is a yellow Post-it note. It's a glass filled with ice and juice. That's the number symbol. And we have some beer cans. And here we have a plate of meats and cheeses. There's a little bowl of peanuts, slices of salami, Slices of salami, cubes of cheese, olives, and slices of bread. Yummy, yum, yum. And there's a bottle cap. And here's a beer bottle. A beer bottle with a slice of lime sticking into the top. There's a slice of lime sticking into the top. And this is a crown. Here are 2 whole limes. And again, underneath we have a wild design with swirly stripes. Green and black swirly stripes. And over here, we have a hot dog with ketchup and mustard on top. And here is a picture of an awning. I've been trying to tell you this word, awning. Awning is that fabric that hangs in front of a building. That is a picture of an awning. And we're looking around at, ooh, what's back there? I see some green. I see lots of green back there. Looks like it looks like there's a park in the distance. Oh, look. There's another hot air balloon. It's a balloon filled with hot air. Here's somebody walking with a football jersey. It looks like we're going to be walking towards the park. We're walking towards the park, but of course we're going to look at the signs. Here are music notes, red musical notes. Musical notes. An advertisement for guitar lessons. There's an image of a guitar, and if you notice, there was a wing behind the guitar. Here's a man walking a little doggy. There's a man eating something sitting on a bench to the right. Another man sitting on the bench looking at his phone. And 2 people sitting on the bench talking to each other. And look, there's a sign that is too dark to read. If you look carefully, it's a person on a bicycle. And there's an arrow pointing to the left and an arrow pointing to the right. And wow, look at those buildings. Look at those tall buildings behind the park. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 big buildings behind the park. And look at those beautiful white clouds in the sky. And here's a sign giving some directions about the road. And the arrows are pointing right. Here's another man wearing a football jersey. And look at this beautiful day. Here's a man walking his bike. He wears a helmet, an orange shirt, and he's walking his bike. Now we're going to look at this map. Look, it's a street map. It indicates the green part is the park. Here's the Chinatown gateway, the archway to Chinatown. Here's the yellow is where we are. You can see that there's this park in front of us with a bunch of paths. The gray area shows the paths of the park. The white areas show the roads. That dark gray thing is a busy road or a highway or is a busy road. And here's a man with a huge bag slung across his shoulder. You could also say that the bag is hanging from his shoulder. And we're going to cross the street. Some people wearing football jerseys. And we're crossing the street. There's a countdown going on. Here's the countdown. Counting down. Countdown. Countdown. 3, 2, 1, 0. And there's a slope. A slope is like an incline. Let's see. Some flowers. Some beautiful lavender colored flower blossoms. And if we look behind us, There are the bike docks. Those are the bikes in the bike docks. And there's a lamp post. That's a lamp post. A post with a lamp on the top. And here we go. We're following this woman who's walking up the slope. It's an uphill slope. There's some tree. Oh, we're not going to follow the woman. We're going towards this big tree and these birds that are walking around on the ground. Here's a bunch of pigeons walking around, bumbling around. We could say they're bumbling around on the ground like we are. This show, Bumbling Around, is a lot like just walking around a city like we're pigeons, right? We just sort of walk around like we're pigeons, looking at things. Wow, look at this big green field. This is a big field of grass. Grass is what we call the thing growing on it, and a lot of grass is a field. This is a field of grass, or a lawn. A field of grass is also called a lawn. Sitting on the lawn are two women talking to each other. Two women sitting on the field talking to each other, sitting underneath the big tree. There's another big tree. There's some more lamp posts, some very fancy lamp posts, decorative lamp posts. And here's a young couple sitting on a bench together, arm in arm. And as we walk on the brick path, we go towards a flagpole. This tall thing is called a pole, a flagpole. At the top of a flagpole is a flag. There's a cable, a string or a cable running down the side of the flagpole. And the cable is connected to this contraption. We call this a hand crank. This is a hand crank. You use your hand to crank it. Cranking is when you turn the handle of a hand crank, and as you crank, the flag goes up, and as you crank the other way, the flag goes down. It's called a hand crank. And here we have some plaques and an interesting I don't know what you call that, a relief carving or it's part of the plaque. And wow, look at the beautiful green of the park. Palm trees, buildings, bright blue sky, beautiful white clouds in the air, young couple canoodling and cuddling on the bench together. What a beautiful day in the park it is. What a beautiful day in the park. We're going to keep walking here on the brick path. What else do we see? Here are two men sitting down. Here's a young man also sitting on the bench. He's got headphones in his ears. Here's some more lamp posts. Another person wearing a football jersey. There must be some kind of football game happening today. And then what is this? Look at this big structure. This is a gazebo. That is a gazebo. And this is looks like an umbrella. Looks like a metal umbrella. Not sure what that is. It might be an art piece. It might be a sculpture. Here's another couple canoodling on the bench together. Here's a young man sitting on a bench. He's got rips in his pants. And here we approach a water fountain in the middle of the road. Right now we're walking on a brick pathway. We're walking down brick stairs, and the brick stairs go over the curve, and now we're in a stone. This is a stone street. And this family is posing for a picture. They're going to take a selfie in front of the fountain. And the fountain, that's a fish. And this couple is posing for a photo. They're getting their picture taken. They're posing for the photo and getting their picture taken in front of the fountain. The fountain with these fish, with the big mouths open. This fish is spitting water out of its mouth. This fish has got crazy eyes. It's spitting water out of its mouth and into the shell. It's spitting it water into the shell. Wow, look at the colorful bottom of the fountain is colorful, and we can see the water ripples, rippling water. The water is rippling. And as we turn, there's the green path is a bike lane. It's a lane where bikes ride, where cars cannot go. It's the bike lane, the green bike lane. Here's the car driving by. A bunch of people avoiding each other. Here's some people walking towards us. A dog on a leash. A dog on a long leash. And we're walking towards, here's a pole with a yellow sticker on it. And there's a fist, a closed fist. There's a green thing with graffiti. Here's a sticker with a young man with big fat lips and eyeliner in his eyes. And eyeliner in his eyes. Now we're out of focus. Now we're in focus. There's some yellow stripes. Okay, here we have a grid on the left and diagonal lines on the right. The left-hand side is a grid where you have rows and columns, and on the right we have diagonal lines. Lines that are not up or down, lines that are not left or right, are lines that are diagonal. And now we're walking. Looks like we're walking past a supermarket. Yeah, that is a supermarket. It's a big market. There's some cheese. All right, let's take a look at this photo. Here we have a red-headed woman who's really happy, wearing a yellow sweater, and she's sitting on top of a shopping cart. And there's a man pushing the shopping cart. It looks like they're having a lot of fun shopping. And here we have a half of an orange with a blueberry floating in front of it. Here we have a yellow pepper. Here's a roasted chicken with crispy skin for 8,499 pesos. Here we have an exotic fruit. Underneath the exotic fruit is an apple. This is some kind of squash or pumpkin cut in half. Those are pumpkin seeds inside of it. Some red grapes, a kiwi, a lime, a little boy on a scooter. And here's a woman who just walked out of the store. And here are some breads. But you know what? We're already done with our hour for this episode. So I hope you keep watching Bumbling Around in English. Till next time.